And welcome back to Bulldog Blitz. You know what, Coach? I just realized, do we still do a Back to the Future reference even though we won the state title?
You have to. We have to, and you've taken care of that now, so we ought to be in good shape. And I got the sweater on, so all of our bases are covered.
How about this? The team will be appearing at the Twin Pines Mall next week. How about that? Will that work?
That'll work. That'll work.
There we go. We took care of it, and that just came off the top of my head. You know, Coach, this sophomore class, 21-2, I believe, over the last 2 seasons, 2 state titles, a co-national championship, and the recruiters for the 4-year schools are just loving this class. They're going to be scooping these guys up. What a testament to these guys winning this state title and making it back-to-back and the national championship.
Yeah, that says a lot for this sophomore class. A lot of great leaders in that class. There's a lot of talent. We've got some very talented football players in this year's sophomore class, but in order to do what they've done, you've got to have a little more than talent, and that speaks well of the character of the young men to fight back and overcome the adversity. A couple of setbacks that we had earlier in the year, but they've so resilient. They had goals set for themselves, when they came here to win championships, and they've been able to accomplish that. And they also had goals to graduate and get that degree and move on to a 4-year school, and that's happening for a large majority of this class. So really proud of what they've been able to accomplish on the field and off the field.
Yeah, and some of those guys and some of our freshmen made the All-MAC-JC offensive and defensive teams and Region 23 teams. I believe we had all in all 10 players on those teams, so that's also a testament to the talent we have on this football squad. It
is. We've been blessed to down on the coast. There's a lot of good football players, and we've been fortunate enough to have got a good group up here, and they've really set the tone for what we would like to continue in the future. They've established a legacy, and we've got it back going where we're winning championships on a regular basis. But it's a daily struggle to keep that going. These young men have accepted that challenge and have gotten to work. Starting in January of each year, lifting the weights early in the morning and running in the afternoons, the study halls at night, the curfews, the breakfast checks. There's a lot of things that go into being able to accomplish what these young men have accomplished. And again, that's a testament to their dedication to the program.
Now, those guys did really well this year. We've also had some guys move on. We did a little segment on this last year, some of our players that have moved on. And we've had a lot of players at 4-year colleges and universities. We have several at Delta State. We've got some at Southern Miss. And I went on the internet the other day, checked out our old pal Larry Warner, who's up at Southern Illinois. He has scored 8 touchdowns this year. I think he's had a couple of kick returns, and he's just had a fantastic season. A former Bulldog, Dantrell Savage, actually playing in the NFL with the Kansas City Chiefs. We mentioned at Southern Miss, Andre Watson is getting significantly more playing time. And the guys up at Minnesota, Tremaine Brock, Cedric McKinley. So it's got to make you feel good when you get a chance, and when you're out of the film room, seeing how these guys are doing.
It is. It's very rewarding to know that those guys are going on and being very successul at the next level. Terrence Cody's doing great over there.
How can I forget TC?
TC's doing great. Watched him last night on a replay on CBS College Network. They were replaying that game, and he's doing really, really well. I saw a thing that had him projected, if he comes out this year, as the 14th player picked overall in the NFL draft. And as you said, Dantrell's starting now for the Kansas City Chiefs. C.J. Hawthorne is, last I heard, he was on the practice squad with the Buffalo Bills. Tremaine's doing excellent. I talked to Cedric McKinley the other day. Both those guys are at Minnesota doing great. A good contingent down at Southeastern Louisiana. Willie Pritchett's doing well. Wesley Ladner's there. Travis Williams, the guys from 2 years ago, they're finishing up at Southeastern. Marquise Powell, who was an All-American here, playing really well down at Southeastern. Albert and Trey, all those guys down at Nicholls State, and Jeremy doing really well. We've got a couple at South Alabama that are waiting on them to start football this upcoming year. So it is rewarding to see the guys move on, spread out throughout the Southeast and the rest of the country. Big Les George gave me a holler the other day. He's at Baconey College up in Muskogee, Oklahoma. Him and Eric Walden, Dominique Bacon, they're all up there doing really well. They're finishing up their season this coming weekend, but they're working on those degrees and finishing those degrees, and it's great to see the guys move on and do really well.
It's always good to be an Okie from Muskogee. Moving on now for us, Mississippi Bowl is up next, and we don't know who we're playing yet, but it's got to be exciting knowing that this first one we're going to be in it and being part of this thing. It's going to be really neat because the great thing is the season's not over.
Right. You know, when you've got a season going like this, you hate to see it end, especially when the guys are playing their best football right now. You know, there is a little hiatus between the last game and the bowl game. There's like a 30-day span. You know, we play on December the 7th, and that's, you know, it's 4 weeks in a day from when we have played our last game. So this will give us a little time to get healed up to the bumps and the bruises and all of those things. And we'll get back out on the practice field this upcoming week for a couple of days, and we'll take the break for Thanksgiving and then have a good full week of practice before playing in the inaugural Mississippi Bowl. It's something that we set that as a goal at the beginning of the year. You know, we want to win the state championship and play in the first Mississippi Bowl because, you know, we know our Dr. Lott and our administration has put a lot of work and effort into giving the MACJC its own bowl game, and we wanted to be the school to represent it definitely in the first Mississippi Bowl. So it's quite an accomplishment for these young men.
It certainly is. And once again, that game December 7th at 2 p.m. at Biloxi Indian Stadium. We'll be there, and we'll find out next week who we're going to be playing. So look forward to that. And as we said earlier, this is our last show of the 2008 season, and we ended off just like we finished last year's show with the state title trophy. Of course, then we were wondering if we were going to be national champs, and of course, that team ended up being the co-national champs. And hopefully we'll end this season as Mississippi Bowl champs. We'll find that out on December 7th. For all of us here on the Bulldog Blitz staff, Doug Mansfield over in Jackson County, Rich Kopp behind the camera, Ladd Taylor, head coach Steve Campbell, and yours truly. Thanks for watching us here on Bulldog Blitz. Have a great night and have a great weekend.